Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with me, Said Ali, spiritual consultant and real estate businessman. I had a lovely weekend, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you did too. Monday, another work day. Finished tomorrow, Tuesday. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are going to talk about property tax. Why should pensioners have to pay property tax? According to Alison West, PNM Senator, once the amendment bill is passed, pensioners will not be exempted from paying property tax. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand that pensioners are over the age of 60. They have worked all their lives and made contributions into the society of this little island, Trinidad and Tobago. So why should they pay tax? The little money that they are already getting is barely enough for them to live. Because if you are a pensioner and you are sick, medication is very expensive. Groceries are very expensive. So why should they pay property tax? This is a live calling program, ladies and gentlemen. 622-9785, 628-6093. Why can't the finance ministry in Trinidad and Tobago have pity on the people that are over 60 years of age? What about the pensioners who cannot afford to pay property tax? What about if they are renting in HGC apartments? Some have worked all their lives and accomplished nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. But you want to implement property tax on pensioners. I want to hear your views, viewers of this program. What do you have to say? Our Prime Minister is saying, tighten our belt. Tighten our belt. But the people who are over the age of 60, how much belt can they tighten? We have a caller. Good night.
Good evening.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Ali.
Good afternoon.
Right. Mr. Ali, you are talking about Alison West, property tax, and pensioners being over the age of 60. And this government must have a little compassion.
Yes.
Have you seen any compassion thus far? Look today, my shock and dismay when I looked at the news. Your weekend went well, so did mine. My weekend went beautifully until 5 minutes ago when I saw a little 7-year-old boy by the name of Jovi Mitchell being denied $1.5 million from the Children Life Fund.
Yes,
denied. Yes. And they're saying it is not life-threatening. It is not life-threatening. But yet you have allegedly all decrepit man plugged up to a machine machine using allegedly our taxpayers' money to keep him alive. And a little 7-year-old child being shown on the TV. My heart is bleeding. So you see this tax, this property tax, what compassion do you expect from them when a little boy is being left to die and a hardback allegedly old man because he's allegedly your family? Come on, there is no compassion, nothing from the PNM government, nothing from the UNC. It's just gimme, gimme, take. We need, again, I keep saying, a party to come in that have compassion. This little boy should be alive, should have been given money, and the property tax for the old people is unacceptable. All unacceptable. PNM on UNC, you must go. Thank you, have a blessed day. This is Kim Coltans, out.
Thank you. Pensioners will not be exempted from property tax. Why can't you have a heart? You say you are a government that's serving the people. Pensioners can't even afford medication. They can't even get CDAP medication. But now they must be paying property tax. Some of them don't have properties. And if they do own a property, what condition is it? Because I have visited some pensioners, and my God, sometimes I just want to know, how can they live like this? So why can't Alison West communicate with the Ministry of Finance to make sure that pensioners do not pay tax? Why can't you do that? Instead of having these old people to take up their little pension that they are getting, that is not even enough to survive. But you say it is a loss of revenue for the government. Millions of dollars are being scandalized. Millions of dollars are being wasted. But it is a loss to the government. These people have contributed to society. And in their old age, when time to relax, they have to worry about property tax. They cannot buy enough medicine. How are they going to survive now? Miss Allison, if you could pay property tax, not everybody could do it. And that is why I am here, ladies and gentlemen, talking about this property tax and the pensioners. How much it is to make a proper grocery? $2,000, $2,500. And after spending that, how much money are you going to spend on medication? Because 75% of the people who are collecting pension, they have some sort of sickness. Caller, good night. Caller? Some sort of sickness. They have to get medication, and medication are not cheap. Caller, good night.
Hi, good night, sir. How are you doing?
I good. How are you?
Stop talking shit, dog.
Really? When you're here, you get old, and you cannot afford to pay your property tax. I want to see where they're putting you. On Henry Street and a cardboard box lie down? Apparently the way you talking, caller, is like there you put in your grandparents or your parents when they reach 60 and they can't pay tax. I ain't afraid to tell you. Because you might end up right here too. We have a call. Caller, good night. How many people, how many citizens, parents, who cannot afford to pay property tax, what will happen to them? Caller, good night.
Good evening again, Mr. Ali. Allegedly, that caller that just called in, his body wouldn't degenerate at all. He will remain 21 forever. But all of us have to degenerate. We are already seeing a former minister allegedly in America. And allegedly, Miss Alison West's body will not degenerate. She will remain allegedly 21 forever. So you see, callers like that don't think ahead. They don't think ahead. A lot. If he had that caller had compassion, he would know that pensioners are starving in this country. Starving, Mr. Ali, and that is the operative word. As a pensioner myself, the medicine alone, the pension cannot even pay for the medicine. And the food, needless, don't let me even go into that. So the country is in a state. Mister, think again before you speak. Obviously, you didn't attend school or you don't have a good command of the English language. Have a blessed night.
Thank you, caller. There's a perfume they call, I think it's Forever 21. That guy needs to use it. So he wouldn't age. He would remain young forever. But citizens of Trinidad and Tobago who cannot afford to pay property tax, what will happen to you? Caller, good night.
Hi, good night.
Good night.
And I want to say to you, you are doing a grand job, a very good job.
Thank you, caller.
This job, it can't pay you either money or by thanking you. You are raising very, very good points. I am sitting here, I just walked in from work, and I realized that you bring up a very good topic there. People don't realize what is taking place in this country and how we are being manipulated. This whole thing about property tax is not necessarily about tax, you know. Giving the pensioners money and then taking it back. A lot of people not seeing what is going on. These people are thinking in a very small pool. These people who are consultants, so-called consultants,
yes.
We the people should really dictate how this goes. We were paying a very small amount where we could get by. If we rent a little piece of the place, it's to fix the house. Nobody have fantastic houses.
True.
The people that have the hierarchy that has the fantastic houses, yes, I could see if you put a penalty payment on them, yes, no problem. But the ordinary citizenry who trying to make it and quietly, so Trinidadians, nice people, you know, and Tobagonians.
Yes.
I have to say, because I have seen things that are being done to us here, and we have to take it for 5 years, but we really don't have to take it. The job you are doing is human service. You are really humanity, and you are allowing us people to come out and speak. I am calling from San Fernando, and we have a lot of people who really talk a lot of garbage and nonsense. But when it comes to the pocket and the payments, they get small and they get quiet and they're hopeful that somebody does it for them and that the payments are reduced. I am one of those. I will say I am working. My salary is $6,000, $7,000, and I will not be able to afford, because I just end up spending in the grocery over $5,000, and it's just 3 people to eat here.
See?
And that I even touch bills yet. And I know I'm speaking for 99% of the people, because we work, you try to look good, you buy the breeze to wash your clothes and to make your tie look good, and to appear and to be fair, and there are those that just really dare to manipulate and undermine our whole scheme of things, our whole way of life. And then we're going to be pinching on one another because we're going to be grumpy to each neighbor. We're not going to help anybody. We're going to become so sucked into our culture and our lifestyle to try to make it that we barely even get 4 hours of sleep. And for our old people to go through this, you are quite right. You should be sitting down in Parliament, and you should be showing them how not to penalize the pensioners and how to be innovative and make money.
Create
ways.
Make
money out of things like entrepreneurship, out of entertainment artists. Yes, give the people incentive as well as give them a timeline to develop, and then you get taxes from them. You don't penalize poor people, innocent people who are struggling to make their life. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but you're doing a grand job.
Thank
and
you,
I salute you, and I salute all the people like you. Thank you very much.
Somebody needs to stand up. Who will stand up for the pensioners? When you make grocery of $2,500, as the caller was saying, let's say you're getting $4,000 a month. If you're renting, you have groceries to buy, you have medication to buy, how far will $4,000 carry you? How far? And this is what I am here for. Standing for the people who do not have a voice. Caller, good night.
Hi, good night.
Good night, caller.
I'm watching your show and I'm listening to you. Are very, very correct and right because I'm a pensioner and
Thank
I
you,
only
caller.
get $2,000. How much that could help me?
Exactly.
That cannot afford to help me. $2,000. I have to make grocery. I have bills to pay. I have to go to doctor. That cannot help me. $2,000 pension. Anyhow, thank you. I'm looking at your show. I love your show.
Thank you, caller. This is why I named it Real Talk. It's not a jokey matter. It is not a jokey matter. It is not a jokey matter. Money will run out. What will pensioners do? So what if they can't afford to pay their property tax? Then what? Then what? And property tax is not a 1 year thing. It's not a 2 years thing. As long as it implements, it will continue. It will continue. And the sufferation will start over and over and over, and you will find yourself going down deeper and deeper and deeper in a hole. So who is standing for the old age? Who is standing for the pensioners? Nobody. Nobody. They want to dig out their eye instead of they help them. Caller, good night.
Good night. I'm Shelley-Ann. I think you're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
And by watching how you're concerned about poor people and see what you're actually doing for Trinidadian, I'm not a Trinidadian, but trust me,
Where
a person who
caller?
can look out for people who is in need. We are all one human. People who need help.
Yes.
Some people doesn't know what people going through. Some people doesn't know the pain, the suffering.
Exactly, caller.
And that man, what he's talking, he probably never worked yet. He probably have no idea what other people who work and don't have food to eat, or what it feel like. You understand? Because we have to leave from our country, come here. We don't have even tax to pay. We don't have any money to go back home with. And see you standing out on the right points of life. What people is there going through, I think you're doing a real good job.
Thank you, caller.
People need help.
Exactly,
People
sir.
is hungry. Their child is taking their tax money and eat it. They can't even pay their tax. Trust me.
They don't have enough money to live, but you want to implement property tax on them. According to Allison West, they will not be exempted. Oh God, these are 60 and 65 and 66, some of them, some probably 70. But you want to take away the little $400 or $500, that's all you're adding on to them. What madness is this? And who is standing up for them? Nobody. Because of their age? Come on. Caller, good night. Caller? Come on, Miss Allison West. You could do better than that. You will not remain young all the days of your life. You never know what could happen going down the road. A couple of years back, UNC was in power. Ms. Kamala Persad-Bissessar was the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. A couple years forward, she is not the Prime Minister, but she's on the opposite side. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night. Saeed,
Yes?
I'm calling back from Philippines, San Fernando. You know something that I wanted to raise with you and I forget? We say property tax and they are ingraining this thing called property tax. But do you realize from the colonial days, they used to call it land and building taxes?
Yes?
And that is what we are accustomed paying, land and building tax. When you say property, that entails today and next year will be the land and the house. What about your car? And how many fridges? How many stoves? There is no end to it. And it could get there because anything is happening. And this is not paranoia. This is reality because anything,
Exactly.
once money flowing in, that will be it. And I am telling you, they were going to count how many cars we have. It don't matter if it's a PBE or a PCD. It is not going to matter how many jewelry you have. It's how many fridges you have, how many taps you have, how many toilet bowls. Believe you me, when I go in the bank, they ask me how many suits I have. And I just lie and tell them 25. And they will write that down. So imagine when the inspector comes to the house and he sees something looking like 25 taps. He's going to write it. I can't blame him. That is him doing his job. Right? It's the regime to set it principled and professionally. Let us get it clear. That thing they call in property tax, we're going to pay a penalty. Let us call it land and building taxes and ask them to change it on the books. We are the ones that put them there.
Exactly.
We give them the right and the authority to use our monies and our voices.
Caller, I am waiting to see what penalty are they going to bring out if people do not pay property tax. I am waiting patiently. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Real Talk with me, Saeed Ali. I just encourage people, if you have property to sell, I am a real estate businessman and a spiritual advisor. And I have been encouraging people, if you have property to sell, advertise it on TV. Today, I had a very successful business venture today. Being a spiritual advisor, I travel to many countries, ladies and gentlemen. I speak in 6 different languages. I am also an accountant. This is Saeed. Today, I had a successful business venture with a business friend. Very soon, ladies and gentlemen, I will be opening up, extending my company into Grenada and Barbados. I worked very hard to reach where I am. Very, very hard. And I've been saying to people, if you have properties to sell, advertise it on Real Talk. This program, Synergy TV, is not just in Trinidad and Tobago. It is viewed around the globe. Around the globe. And I want to thank my business partner. I won't mention his name, but I want to thank him. Very soon, not long from now, I will be extending. And I will be helping people in Grenada and Barbados as well. The same thing I am doing here, I will do it across there. Why? I ain't afraid to stand up. I ain't afraid for nobody to come and muzzle this mouth. I will speak for the less fortunate. I will speak for the sick. I will speak for the people who cannot pay their bills because they are human beings. They are human beings. That is why I encourage you. Advertise your property on TV. Not just locally, but regional will be able to see it also. Today I can thank God I could be here, a mouthpiece for somebody that will be able to receive help through this program. I want to thank God for that. I didn't sit down. I worked. And like the male caller who called, you're talking nonsense. I wonder who can he stand up for? I could stand up for him, but who can he stand for? So why the old age or the ageable citizen of Trinidad and Tobago have to pay property tax? Why? The same thing I do in here is the same thing I will do in Grenada, and is the same thing I will do in Barbados. Today I became very successful. Very successful. And I thank God for that. I thank God for that. Caller, good night. Caller?
Yeah.
Good night, sir.
This is time to call for civil disobedience. Don't pay no property tax. We just burn down the park.
Property tax and the pension citizens. How are they going to survive? Nobody standing for them. Nobody wants to talk to them. When you wanted your vote, you come and you're begging. Vote we, vote we, vote we. You got a chance? You want to nail we up like Jesus on a cross. This is real talk, ladies and gentlemen. This is real talk. How many citizens will stand up and say they can't afford to pay property tax? How many will stand up and say my grandfather or my father can't pay it because the money is just not enough? It's not enough. It's not enough. Before you get it, it have place to go. And that is a fixed salary. That is a fixed income. So if you have to spend over that amount you're getting, how will you survive? How will you survive? How will you survive? Instead of you help the pensioners, you're causing them to get more sick. And you're saying the government will lose. We have a minister sick and he bills being paid, but the government are losing. They ain't losing. Ladies and gentlemen, we are out of time for tonight, but join me tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, this program has been extended from 7 o'clock, 7:30 starting time to 8:30. 1 hour on the air where we'll talk, real facts, real issues. Join me tomorrow night right here. I'm Saeed Ali. This is Real Talk. Director, take us out.